Dennis, when you see Anthony go down, what's your first reaction at that point on the sidelines? Was it you just had to jump up, get going? Did anybody kind of mention anything to you, or was it just instinctively get up, grab football, and start loosening up?
Yeah, it was basically get up and get going. There were a few instances earlier in the year where his helmet came off and I'd be ready to hop in for a snap. Thankfully, I kind of got my toes wet with that. But you see him go down and you see the trainers hop onto the field and it's just get your arm loose, get some snaps with the center, and make sure the exchange is all good, and then just roll. And it was almost better not being able to think about it, just kind of going in, just getting the play out.
Yeah, you get those first couple of plays. Is it like what's that? Is it you're even thinking, trying to go through your emotions, or is it just reacting, let adrenaline take over, and be in the moment type of thing?
I mean, with our offense, there's definitely a big thinking component. So you can't be just go out and play. You got to make the checks and make the right reads. But to an extent, it's just the adrenaline's pumping and you're excited to be out there, and you just try to fill in for AB and not let him down, not let the other guys down.
Now that you come out of that week, and I mean now you've probably had a couple of practices to settle into practicing with the ones too. What's just kind of been your approach now moving forward that it became apparent that you were probably going to be taking some of the starts and snaps? What's kind of your approach now as you have to step into that role that winds up vacated?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so now I think my mindset was just simplify it and make it easy for me. And now that I have time to think about it and to make the get my mindset right instead of just hopping in there and playing, just really fine tuning everything, whether it's mechanical or whether it's schematics with the offense. So that's one of the things that I took a step back and really looked at myself from a wide lens, even with the bye week, having the extra time to go through maybe some of the reps from the Louisville game or some of the other reps from earlier in the season, that I can fine tune myself and then spend some extra time with the schematics and the stuff we're putting in, and just even detailing our bread and butter plays.
I know that when you
Hold
had
on one sec, Dan. Let's see if
yeah.
Richard, you have anything.
No problem.
No, I was just saying that you kind of addressed it there a second ago, but are you kind of like working on some of the nuances, like selling play action, setting up a screen, just the kind of mental things that a quarterback has to know in the process of play?
Yeah, so I think it's more so the lack of reps that I was awarded during even earlier during the season or in the summer. So I think it's a lot of the details that go into each play. Details that a lot of people probably don't know goes in each play, whether it's footwork or eye location or stuff like that. So it's just actually getting the game reps and getting in there and working on the little stuff that makes the play complete. And I think that's the biggest thing.
Just the way people describe sort of the energy you bring to practices and some of the work you do, kind of what goes into that, and just kind of trying to provide leadership or whatever, igniting some energy to a drill or whatever. Where did that come from, and kind of how did that kind of earn some respect around some of your teammates?
I think the root of it is how I got here and how I came to this position, and just really going out and being thankful for where I am and how I got here, and bringing that energy every day, and just knowing that I'm a lucky guy to be in this situation and being able to play with these guys, and running out of that tunnel every Saturday. There's no better feeling, and I think I'm very thankful and very fortunate to be in that position, and I think bringing it every day and still reminding myself of that is the biggest thing that brings my energy level up, and trying to be as contagious as possible, even like you said in the backup role earlier this year, not being in the leadership position but still being able to either be a motivator or be that contagious energy that if I can bring anything to the table, that's what I would want to bring.
When AJ says like there are days when I'm kind of coasting or whatever, and you'll say something to him like, what do you say? Like, what do you see? And like like how
Right.
not to say like where do you get off? You know what I mean? But like you know what I mean? Like just
You try to find something. The camp days are long, summer training is long, 7 days a week, 6 days a week. So you try to find something, whether it's can't wait to watch this baseball game tonight, or something that just like, let's get through this. We got ice cream waiting outside. Something that just either takes his mind off of football and just lightens it up a little bit, or just I don't know. Trying to find something relatable and trying to find something that boosts the mood a little bit, or just anything really.
I was kind of curious. Did you see some of that connect, especially when you got on the field? Because one of the first things I kept hearing people say was like, "Yo, we got complete trust in this." Like, like there was never any like question or doubt. But like having that connectivity, like in the building process, like once you get on the field, it kind of just happens.
Right, and that's just the relationships that we build. throughout the years, whether it's in the classroom, off the field, on the field. It all goes into that. And when people say it's a full game, they're not just talking about the game and the practices. They're talking about everything. That's the relationships we've built over the past couple of years. That's helping people study in the classroom. That's just everything that goes into it. Is the relationships that we've built and the trust that we've gained with each other. And that's probably the biggest compliment they can give me, is that they trust me, and that everything I've done to this point has built a relationship to flourish into that trust.
And when you say you're kind of grateful for the path that brought you here, can you explain that more and kind of like what the path was for people who might not know? And then kind of
sure.
What got you?
I was just fortunate to be offered a preferred walk-on spot here. Came into a pretty deep room with AB as the top guy. Had a deep room, had a lot of guys there. Like I said, was thankful to be in the position I was. And slowly throughout the years was able to work with some great coaches and the players to improve my skill and improve my craft. And AB goes down, and I was in the situation this year where I was able to step up and perform. And like I said, it's just going from as low as I was on the chart and as low as the situation was to being in this position. It's eye-opening. It's pretty exciting, but it's humbling to know that I was in that position and still to make that connection, that to be fortunate where I am today.
This last
We'll
one.
take one more.
This last one is how much did your relationship with AB kind of help? Because we saw how cool, how excited he was for you.
Right.
Like you said, you were excited for him. But what were some of the things you picked up from him that maybe kind of helped you connect with other guys?
Right, I think the biggest thing was him going into a starting role as a young player and as an inexperienced player his first year. So that as a guy who's been here but not a lot of game reps, he was able to make that connection with, this is probably what you're seeing, this is probably what you're feeling, I was there, this is how I handled it. And even in his second year, this is how I looked back and saw what I could have done better, and this is probably what you could do better. So it's that connection that he had with being that inexperienced guy to now being an experienced guy, and making that connection with me and trying to speed up that process with me to get as many game reps and get as many game experiences as I can.
Just one last one. Their sack and quarterback hurry numbers are off the charts. What have you seen from their defense, and just how do you prepare for the duress you're going to be under from this defense?
Yeah, their front 6 or 7 is pretty strong, pretty solid, and the stats and numbers show that. I think with the bye week being able to go in and detail everything, the O-line getting that extra week of work and that extra film session, and their extra game against Syracuse, I believe. It all helps and it all goes into it. So I know we had some extra work to focus on that, because it's obviously one of their strong suits of their defense. And in a personal sense, it's important to stay on rhythm and to stay on time. From a receiver sense, it's to detail the routes and get off the coverages so it can all go as planned. Nothing really changed with the offensive line. They've been solid all year, and I think they're ready for the challenge, and so am I.
Yeah, thank you.